smaller DeFi coins, which have several times more profit potential, and I'll also name a couple here today in just a moment. But first, let me ask you this. Do you have an account on a major crypto exchange, such as Coinbase, Kraken, or Gemini? Is that how you buy cryptocurrencies? If so, even if you're making a lot of money, you're probably leaving most of your profit potential on the table. For example, let's go back to July 9, 2020. If you logged onto your account at a major US-based crypto exchange, you could have bought a leading DeFi cryptocurrency called Synthetics, symbol SNX, and you could have paid less than $3 per coin, $2.82 to be exact. Within about 6 months, Synthetics rose to $26.50, so you could have made more than 9 times your money. That's darn good. Around the same time, you could have also bought another star in the DeFi world for $2.21, and you could have watched it soar all the way to $27.50, more than 12 times your money. Or consider Yearn.finance, symbol YFI. On August 10, 2020, you could have bought YFI on Coinbase for $4,106. Then, just 33 days later, it reached a peak closing price of $43,338. That's a 955% gain. I don't think anyone would complain about a 955% gain in just 33 days. But in each of these 3 examples, the starting price I cited was the first day of trading on a major exchange, like Coinbase, Kraken, or Gemini. Buying them at that moment in time was kind of like buying Facebook after its IPO. You could have made much more money if you had bought them using our backdoor early bird buying method. This method involves several more clicks of your mouse, several more steps, but it has many times more profit potential. Trouble is, if you log onto your regular exchange account right now, you wouldn't even see the rare cryptos that we've uncovered. And yet, these are the ones we think have the best chance of becoming the next leaders of the fast-growing DeFi world. And with our early bird buying method, you can buy these cryptos. You can buy them at a fraction of the cost that most other investors will pay. Let's say other investors wait to buy until the crypto is listed on Coinbase or Gemini or Kraken. And let's say you buy it with our early bird method. How much less do you think you could get it for? Well, the answer is you could pay 80% less. I know that sounds like a huge amount, but it's true. For every dollar others might wind up paying later, you'd pay just 20 cents. Sometimes you could pay just 10 cents on the dollar, maybe even just 1 cent on the dollar. Let me show you 3 actual examples using the very same 3 cryptos we just reviewed. First, Synthetics. Like I said, on July 9, 2020, you could have bought Synthetics when it was first listed on a major exchange like Coinbase, and you could have paid $2.82 per coin. Then it surged to $26.50 per coin. That was the 9-fold gain I told you about. But if you had used our early bird buying method, you could have bought Synthetics much earlier. Instead of paying $2.82, you could have bought it for just 48 cents. That's an 82% discount off what other investors later paid. So instead of multiplying your money by merely 9 times, you could have multiplied your money by over 55 times. I repeat, a 55-fold gain instead of a 9-fold gain. And Synthetics wasn't an anomaly. The advantage of using our backdoor buying method for our second example, the second star of the DeFi world, was even greater. Remember, when it first appeared on Coinbase, you could have bought it for $2.21 and watched it surge to $27.50, right? So buying it the regular way, as I said, you could have made more than 12 times your money. Not bad. But with the early bird buying method, instead of paying $2.21, you could have paid just 22 cents. 22 cents instead of $2.21. That's more than 90% less. So instead of making about 12 times your money, you could have made 125 times your money. And look at Yearn.finance, YFI, the biggest winner of all in this group. Remember what I said? The first day it was listed on a major exchange was August 10, 2020. Its price on that day was $4,106. Then, 33 days later, that's when you could have sold it for $43,338, a gain of 955%. But if you had bought it with our early bird backdoor buying method, you could have paid just $35. That's 99% less. So instead of a 955% gain, you'd have a gain of 125,336%. In other words, instead of making about 10 times your money, you'd be looking at a gain of approximately 1,250 times your money. If you could make just 1/10 of that, you'd still be looking at the potential for major fortunes from a small initial investment and possibly in a very short period of time. So at this point, you're probably wondering, what about the risk? Well, it's similar to buying a startup. If you don't know what you're doing, you could buy 10 of them and wind up with 10 laggards or even 10 losers. But if you know what you're doing, yes, you could still expect some losers, but you could also have a few big winners. And you'd have a far better chance of at least one or two, giving you the kind of blowout profit potential we just talked about. 50-fold gains, maybe even 100-fold gains. Sound hard to believe? Then just check out this example of a crypto that our lead crypto expert, Juan Villaverde, recommended to investors in our monthly newsletter. It was Cardano, and he recommended it on November 27th, 2019. At the time, the vast majority of investors had no idea what Cardano was all about. Most didn't even know of its existence. But Juan said it was likely to be a shining star in the crypto world of the future, especially as a tool or even a replacement for those people that control the financial world today, including central banks. If you followed Juan's recommendation, you could have bought Cardano for less than a meager 4 cents. It then surged to $2.13 and counting. That's a gain of 5,376% with more to come. In other words, you could have multiplied your money by over 50 times, at least. Just $1,000 invested turned into over $54,000. And guess what? When Juan recommended Cardano, it was already listed on major exchanges. If you could have bought Cardano before it was listed, you could have made many, many times more. Is this kind of opportunity for your keep safe funds? Is it for all of your money? Of course not. But the thing is, you don't have to invest very much money. All you need is an investment of a few $100s to get started. And if we're right about the opportunity, it could still make a significant difference in your life. Now, no one can predict the future with precision, but our cryptocurrency experts study global capital flows that are occurring right now in the present time frame. And right now, we see money rushing into this fast-growing sector of decentralized finance in two ways. First, we see a lot of new money flowing into the crypto world from the outside, from big companies like Tesla and Visa, from big banks and hedge funds. Second, we see a lot of money rushing into decentralized finance from inside the crypto universe, from inside the crypto world. Bitcoin owners moving into the DeFi sector, Ethereum owners moving into the DeFi sector, and more. The result is a massive repricing of cryptocurrencies. In other words, we see the DeFi cryptos going up a lot faster than Bitcoin and other major cryptocurrencies. Consider the Cardano example I just mentioned a moment ago. As I said, Juan recommended it on November 27, 2019. And if you had acted on his signal, you could have seen a gain of 5,376% and counting. Suppose you had bought Bitcoin on that same day? Well, sure. You could have still made a lot of money. You could have still seen a gain of 462%. Not bad, right? But with Cardano, you could have made 12 times more. And as I said, that's even without using our early bird backdoor buying method. Or compare Bitcoin to Yearn.finance, which I told you about. On July 18, 2020, when Yearn.finance, YFI, first traded, it was worth less than 0.0038 Bitcoin. On September 13, 2020, YFI was worth 4.2 Bitcoin, or 1,100 times more. This just brings home, again, my point that the DeFi world is truly a sleeping giant. Before DeFi, I never would have said that you can invest just a few $100s today and have the same kind of potential that early Bitcoin investors enjoyed. But since the emergence of DeFi, I've come to believe that this is now possible. Not for long, though. Soon the word will get out. And when that happens, you're bound to see a much bigger flood of money gushing into DeFi. Perhaps one of the biggest money flows we've ever seen in the crypto world. Why are so many investors attracted to DeFi? A key reason can be summed up in one simple 5-letter word: yield. All over the world, millions of investors are starving for yield. And not just investors, average savers and workers, anyone with a bank account. The numbers are enormous. According to the World Bank, about 2/3 of the world's adult population has an account with a bank or a mobile money provider. That's 3.8 billion people, or 11 times the entire population of the United States. And look at the bum deal they're getting. For the hard-earned savings they've got on deposit, they're getting practically zero yield. According to bankrate.com, the average yield you can get in the United States on a one-year bank CD is 0.17%. So if you invest $10,000, all you get is a meager $17, barely enough for a taxi ride home. And that's after locking it up for a full year, mind you. But for the money people borrow on their credit cards, they're still getting charged more than 20%. So when they deposit $10,000, they get $17. But when they borrow $10,000, they pay $2,000? What a ripoff! It just goes to show the massive pent-up demand for a financial system that cuts out the middleman, that gives people a decent yield, that doesn't charge them indecent interest. It's huge pent-up demand, not just from millions of people, but from billions of people. Right now, depositors in the DeFi world are earning at least 20 times more than folks are earning on a typical bank CD. So once people learn about this, they're going to flock to DeFi in massive numbers. So you might ask, how does an income investor or a saver using these crypto platforms avoid the price risk? Aren't cryptocurrency prices very volatile? Yes, most cryptos are very volatile. And that's why income investors use what's called stable coins. Digital assets that are pegged one-to-one to a major fiat currency like the US dollar. Think of it like holding crypto dollars. Then you deposit your crypto dollars on a platform that acts as a lender, that earns interest and pays that interest back to you. This yearning for yield, this huge pent-up demand for a decent rate of interest, is the most powerful force in the financial world today. And it's creating a surge in the value of DeFi coins like no other price surge I've ever seen in the 50 years since I began my research and ratings company. Yet everything I've told you so far is just the beginning of what could be the single greatest opportunity since the launch of Bitcoin itself. That's saying a heck of a lot, because as I told you, a lot of money has been made in Bitcoin. Just consider the history of my company, Weiss Ratings. About a decade ago, a Weiss executive was offered 200 Bitcoin, stored on a small pen drive. Back then, it was just a gift, barely worth a nice lunch for four. Today, that small, friendly gift would be worth about $10 million. A few years later, one of our Weiss analysts explained the amazing future of Bitcoin to a relatively small group of our readers. If each of those readers had bought just one Bitcoin at that time, they could have made over $1.5 billion in profits collectively. And these are just a couple of the examples of how my team took an early interest in Bitcoin and how Bitcoin has created, or could have created, thousands of instant millionaires and even a few billionaires. But there's more. You see, that's when we embarked on a monumental new project to develop the world's first and only cryptocurrency, ratings. At that point in time, late 2017 and early 2018, investors all over the world were going absolutely nuts for Bitcoin. Crypto markets were in bubble land, grossly overpriced and extremely risky. So our new crypto ratings naturally reflected that. And when we issued our first ratings, not a single crypto got an A. Bitcoin got a mediocre rating. And most of the cryptos we rated got Ds and Es. So our message to investors was absolutely clear. Stay away or get the heck out. Bitcoin lovers around the world erupted in rage. They even mounted a cyber attack on our Weiss Ratings website. Fortunately for us, the attack failed. But unfortunately for Bitcoin owners, we were right. Bitcoin crashed, and investors who failed to heed our warnings saw their portfolios lose most of their value. Then, 1 year later, on December 12, 2018, when the price of Bitcoin was about to hit rock bottom, that's when we announced to the world that it was finally time to start buying Bitcoin. Our announcement went viral. CoinIntel News broadcast it all over the internet, and they said, Weiss Ratings calls the bottom. Bitcoin News wrote, Weiss Ratings declares now best time to buy Bitcoin. Countless blogs and websites picked it up too. And sure enough, 3 days later, Bitcoin hit rock bottom. And that was the end of the crypto bear market of 2018. So now the crypto crowd doesn't hate us anymore. One crypto commentator wrote, Your transparent and unbiased ratings will bring light to the darkness and murky crypto world. Forbes, CNBC, Fortune, The Motley Fool, and many others told their readers about the importance of the Weiss crypto ratings. And crypto blogs all over the world have praised our Weiss Ratings experts for their uncanny accuracy in pinpointing the best cryptos to buy and the right time to buy them. Now, the fast-growing world of decentralized finance is giving you a brand new opportunity. And I repeat, it's the biggest investment opportunity I've personally seen since I founded my research and ratings company a half-century ago. A world that has grown 100-fold just since 2020. A world that could grow another 400-fold and still represent no more than 10% of the global financial system. A world that has already generated by far the greatest gains of any sector, of any economy on the planet today. And it's still in its very, very early stages. So if you're ready to jump on this opportunity, arguably the largest we've seen since the birth of Bitcoin. Here are the 5 steps I recommend right now.